contract was constructed, then this is what happens. You lose all leverage. They also dragged their heels at the beginning of this offseason to the point where they were only able to get one suitor involved in the New York Jets. And when you've got one buyer, the price goes down. If they had 2 or 3 buyers, the price goes up. But when you know the team you're trading Aaron Rodgers to, and you've already announced your intention to move on from him to Jordan Love, all of a sudden you put yourself in a position where even if it's not fair trade value in a vacuum, I think getting a second-round pick and a conditional is probably as well as they can do right now, and I'm sure that they're looking to improve that as much as possible, which is why we're at this standstill.
The fascinating thing to me is I'm starting to get the vibe that Brian Gutekunst, Mark Murphy wanted to move on from Aaron Rodgers even before Rodgers went into darkness, right? And they didn't have the ability to break it down to him because there's this PR battle that both Aaron and Goot, especially with this trade now, are trying to win. There's always been this back and forth of how do we not look bad? How do we not look bad? If the Packers had a backbone as an organization, they would have said, all right, we know we messed up by giving him the extension, but like you said, if we move on from him at the end of the season, right, Goody in his press conference at the NFL owners meeting is like, well, we were 8-9 last year, so we had to talk about what our direction was. If you were doing that and you were looking at your direction, you could have ripped the Band-Aid off right away. Like you said, next thing you know, the Raiders, the Panthers, maybe the Panthers aren't, like, again, whether Aaron wanted to go to those places or not, you can start fielding different offers and seeing and sending that to Aaron's agent. This thing is, it's so yucky, right? It's got to a point where this is yucky, where, like, I hear second round of compensatory, do it, done. Let's get over with it and move on.
800-990-3776, Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light, live from X Golf here at American Family Stadium, or excuse me, American Family Field.
That one wasn't
Again, that one I messed up on my own. We'll go to Jeff in Madison. Jeff, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. Do you think a 2 and a conditional pick is fair value for Aaron Rodgers?
No, for all the reasons you stated, but it does, depending on how his deal gets reworked, assuming it does, I think it needs to, depending on how much cap, I don't think we can do much about 23 cap, but we can do something about 24 is my understanding, and that matters greatly. We got to get out from under this. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of whether or not he's still an MVP player, but he has not looked like an MVP player even in the seasons he won it in the offseason. Body language alone, not to mention
hold
just
on.
what he's done.
What do you mean by he doesn't look like an MVP player in the years that he won it?
No, he's not an off-season
MVP. In the offseason, he has not.
He won the in-season MVP award, but he didn't win the off-season MVP award. What does the off-season MVP award matter if you're winning the in-season MVP award? That's like saying the team that wins in March in free agency, and thank you for the call, is the team that's going to like. The off-season award doesn't matter. The in-season award matters.
Josh, did you plant that caller? That's a Joshy take.
I think Joshy would separate himself from that take.
Yeah, I'd like to distance myself from that opinion.
Now, I could understand if you want to say he hasn't done well in the playoffs, if you want to say he's choked in the playoffs, if you want to say he hasn't been a successful playoff quarterback, that's fine. But don't come at me with he didn't do enough in the offseason when he's winning an MVP during the season.
You know what, Greg? You know what I'm going to do right now? I saw Jordan Love is going to California. Aaron Jones is there. Christian Watson, Romeo. Let's give Jordan Love the offseason MVP. There you go. It's Super Bowl time now.
There you go. Yeah, I like that. Offseason MVP. 800-990-ESPN. 800-990-3776. Paul in a car. Paul, welcome to Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light, live at AmFam Field, hanging out here at X Golf. What do you got?
Well, I agree that it is not enough compensation, but I do understand where the Jets are coming from with their trepidation about how long he's going to play, because I think when it doesn't work next year, this season, and it's probably not going to, he's going to retire, and they're going to have him for 1 year, and that's going to be the end of it. That's what I see, and this whole thing, neither party looks good. The Packers look bad. Aaron Rodgers looks bad. Gutekunst, I don't believe a single word that comes out of that guy's mouth. Aaron Rodgers, I believe, because I believe he believes what he's saying. But Gutekunst just is full of it. And
when did you lose faith in Goody? Like, what was the breaking point with Goot?
Well, there was something that was said, well, it was a while ago. It was really when they drafted Jordan Love I lost faith. But he said something last week or just the other day that was so full of it. I think it was they were trying to contact Rodgers, and he never got back to them for some reason, which I don't really buy. I don't believe that.
And if you thank you for the call.
Thank you for the call.
Greg, you said this one to me yesterday. If you can't get a hold of somebody one time, don't you try multiple ways?
Yeah, that's the Josh DiMaggio special right there, right?
Yes, sir.
If you don't catch him by a text, then you try a phone call. If you don't try him by a phone call, you try something else. And if you don't try something else, then send him a letter. Like old fashioned. Do you really think that Aaron Rodgers wouldn't respond to a handwritten letter from Brian Gutekunst? He would probably find that so romantic to get like an actual letter.
Oh, they care about me.
Yeah, or even more so, just get a plane. Take a private plane, land there, be like, hey, we want to take you out to dinner. Do it face to face.
Woody J and the Jets did it.
That's it. It worked for them. 800-990-3776. Albert Breer, the former executive for the Green Bay Packers, puts the compensation right now at 1 second-round pick, either 42 or 43, from the New York Jets, and a conditional pick on top of that in exchange for Aaron Rodgers coming from the New York Jets. Is that enough for the four-time MVP Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest in the history of the franchise players, in Aaron Rodgers? Get us on Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust. Call us, text us 800-990-3776.
I think I'm going to brainstorm different offseason MVPs that actually didn't do anything in the season.
All right, get the football music ready, Josh. We'll be back at Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo and Brust.
What do you mean by training your body to like spicy things? That's a weird way to put it.
I really enjoy spicy things now, but I didn't eat spicy things until I got to college. Like, spicy things were never in...
You had to train your body? Like, didn't you just like eating it when you tried it?
No, it was, like, hot. Like, I was like, I don't know if I like this tingly thing that's in my mouth.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
We're still seeing those delays on 43 southbound. You'll be slowing down all the way from Silver Spring down to the city with about a 14-minute delay. 94 east and westbound are both seeing their usual backups as well. Heading eastbound from downtown to the zoo, there's about a 4-minute delay there. And heading westbound, you have about a 3-minute slowdown. And finally, if you're heading southbound from Q to the zoo on 41 southbound, you'll be seeing a 6-minute delay. And now for a look at your Storm Team forecast. Tonight, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with rising temperatures and a low of 47. Friday, those scattered showers and thunderstorms continue, with some of those storms being strong or severe, and a high of 60 degrees. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Finn Askin on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
They talk about everything, but sports always comes first.
I'd watch it. Goody and Rodgers on the Punter Show.
I want them two in the office. Yeah. I want to be a fly on the wall. No public stuff because they're going to be too political. I want the real stuff to come out.
What's the real stuff?
They're going to be cursing at each other. Rodgers will be going off on Goody. Goody will be going off back. It's going to be like UN show meetings.
I was going to ask you if you were going to bring that up.
Spend your afternoons with Homer and Tony. Weekdays 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN.
Sunday. That's right, we're back on the air. Here at Great Lakes Dragaway, we're working hard to prepare for the 2023 race season with new and exciting events being finalized soon to add to our yearly races like Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, and Bugfest. You can now take advantage of our early season pass sale. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for pricing and info. Don't forget to book your corporate or private event now as dates are filling up fast. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Help us make a difference by supporting local veterans and others in your community during Fleet Farm's Make a Difference event. Stop by your local store and donate non-perishable foods, personal care items, or household goods, and you'll get $15 off your purchase of $75 or more. Now is your chance to help make a difference in your community during Fleet Farm's Make a Difference event.
Just because the buzzer hits doesn't mean the game ends. Highlights.
Holiday back to Giannis, and Giannis will staple it through with a two-hand jam.
Reaction.
Bucks have been very good. So we're talking about 3 months now that the Bucks have been the best team in the league, and the Bucks and the Sixers have been the 2 best teams by a wide margin.
Your thoughts.
Take care of the glass. We need to do that, and we did it in the fourth quarter.
Nobody knows the Bucks like Justin Garcia. Catch Bucks Talk after every game right here on 94.5 ESPN.
Keep those pens and highlighters handy during Gruber Law Office's One Champs Week here on 94.5 ESPN. The bracket is coming to an end, and that means one lucky team will come away from Houston as the next champion. Who's going to be cutting down the nets after the final buzzer? Stay tuned to 94.5 ESPN all week long as we hit the hardwood for all things college hoops. One Champs Week on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All. You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
Please don't dominate the rap deck if you got nothing new to say. If you please don't line up the track, this train has got to run today. Time on the mountain, spend a little time on the hill. And some say better run away.
Scalzo and Brust live from X Golf at American Family Field. Here we're presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio running the show back at the Gruber offices. One Call, That's All Studios at the 3rd Street Market Hall at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. 800-990-3776, the number to get into the show. Again, 800-990-ESPN. The latest from Albert Breer says that the trade compensation you can expect coming back right now will be somewhere around the second-round pick in this year's draft. And right now, the Jets have number 42 overall, number 43 overall, and a conditional pick for future years if Aaron Rodgers continues to play. Now, Charles Robinson of Yahoo had reported earlier that he thought the compensation was going to be around 2 second-round picks. But I want to know, is one second-round pick, is number 42 or number 43 plus a conditional pick enough for Aaron Rodgers? 800-990-3776. We'll start with Steve in McFarland. Steve, welcome to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light. What do you got?
Yeah, hi. I'm disappointed that they're not talking about switching the first-round picks around yet. I mean, they were talking about that at first, where they would switch each other's first-round picks and then the second-round pick. I like that idea better than just the second-round pick.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know. We don't know if they were actually talking about that or if people were prognosticating that that was going to be the case. And it's possible that it still is the case, right? We're all working off of the knowledge that we're not exactly sure what's happening. And if anybody did have a direct sightline into the negotiation, they certainly haven't talked about it openly. But right now, the way that it looks is this is sort of the field that we're in. In general, when you get reports and enough smoke, this is probably what we're talking about. If you're hoping for the number 13 overall pick from the Jets this year, that seems very highly, exceedingly unlikely. Maybe a swap is still in play, maybe not. You'd obviously rather have it than not, in addition to a second rounder. But again, that's 2 spots you're moving up from 15 to 13.
Yeah, I like the idea, but again, what's been reported, it continues to be the second round, and I think both the teams, for different reasons, value that first round pick. That first round pick for the Packers, I think, is a guy that they're going to draft who's going to matter the next 3 to 5 years, whereas the Jets' first round pick could be something that's used to trade to make the team better in this all-in type mindset that Woody Johnson and the Jets are going to try and do to win a Super Bowl. So the value from 13 to 15, you can argue how much that's worth, but I just think those first-round picks are valued too much. When you look at 42 and 43, they're literally right next to each other. And the second round versus first round, there's a huge difference in the value from what you're going to get from a trade, from a player, and so that's why I don't think we're hearing it.
800-990-3776. Ken in Oak Creek. Ken, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. What do you got?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. You know, this conversation's been going on for way too long. We'll never really know the full content or the truth of it. But, you know, it's getting to the point where I would take and settle for both their number twos and nothing next year out of them. You know, and just call it a day.
Hold on, would you take just one of those number twos and a conditional future pick or no?
No, both number twos this year. Take their 42 pick and 43 pick and let New York have all their draft capital for next year.
But New York wants their draft capital for this year. So I know, but I'm saying, so if the Jets are like, no, we're not going to do that, you would take Aaron Rodgers back.
It's too late. Damage has been done, right?
Yeah, I think that's how we're getting to the point of just one second-round pick is what's being reported.
I can't imagine the Jets are going to give up the two, but again, Charles Robinson had that in there. I look at it and say, put yourself in the position of the Jets, right? The Packers are in future mode right now. They have to look at things over the next 3 to 5 years. The Jets are in 2023 mode right now. Every decision they're going to make is trying to win a championship in 2023, because if they are going to basically neuter their number 2 overall pick in Zach Wilson and center the team around Aaron Rodgers, you're doing it with the 1 year you know you're going to have him. So for them, the idea of giving up more capital now in this year's draft and for 2023 is antithetical to their approach in terms of how they want to win a Super Bowl, whereas the Packers, I think, would be more willing to push things into the future because ultimately, yes, they need to surround Jordan Love now, but a first-round pick is also really expensive. 2 second-round picks is more money that you're going to have to put onto your books in a world where Aaron Rodgers is eating up a significant amount of cap room.
Just trying to continue to figure out, like, where is the win-win possible? Is the win-win possible in which the Jets give a second-round pick this year and a fourth or a fifth this year, and that way if Aaron Rodgers only plays 1 year, they protect themselves by not giving up capital in the next year? Like, can you entice the Green Bay Packers and say, just take 2 picks this year because you're building for the future anyways? You know, we potentially could be also building for the future, so is a second and fourth this year enough, or is the second conditional enough?
800-990-3776. Lewis on the north side. Lewis, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. We're live at X Golf at AmFam Field here on a opening day in which the Brewers lost 4-0, and Greg ended up losing 3 bets, including the first 5 innings, the game, and the run line, all on the Brewers.
You went crazy.
It's opening day. It's a holiday.
I bet the Brewers, too. No bueno.
Lewis, is a number 2 and a conditional good enough for you for Aaron Rodgers?
No. So what you're telling me is your buddy there was gambling like our general manager was when he drafted Love, right? That's what you're telling me. So you're telling me you're going to give me the 42nd or 43rd best college player in the country for a multiple MVP award winner. Possibly the best player to ever play quarterback. How is Brian Gutekunst still with a job? Because I can't mess up at my job like he has the last 2 years and still have a job.
I mean, it is funny that he gave Aaron Rodgers his contract, and now he's trying to figure out a way to get value for him, even though he put himself in a situation to not have as much value in what he can get back for Aaron Rodgers. It's quite fascinating.
Man, I feel like Lewis had more there, but thank you for the call to our guy Lewis on that. And I'll say this, right? Like, Goody has ultimately 2 years to save his job. He's betting his job. He is gambling his job entirely on Jordan Love and how great Jordan Love is going to be. That's where he's put all the money. If Jordan Love is great, Goody's going to be around for a while. If Jordan Love isn't great and this team doesn't win over the next 2 years, then Murphy's gone because we know he's going to retire in 2025. And then Goody is going to be sitting there, and he's going to have to point to what those last 2 years are because, again, 365 days ago, this team had Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and right now they've got Jordan Love and Christian Watson.
I mean, Goody must be one I'll say this. He's got some cojones because if he brings back Aaron Rodgers this year, he comes out in the media and says, we want him back. Aaron's going to be back. They are going to be in the mix this year. And then if Aaron leaves, that's one season with Jordan Love. But if you move on and Jordan Love stinks the next 2 years, you're right. The owner who comes in for Mark Murphy is going to be like, dude, you botched this. See you later, alligator. I'm getting somebody new who knows how to run an organization.
President, not owner. But yes, we all understand what you're talking about. We'll go to Rick in Pewaukee. Rick, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. Is the number 42 overall or the number 43 overall and a conditional second-round pick enough for Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. That's all you can get. But my question for everybody is this.
I'm sorry, Rick. We can't hear it. Josh, you take him off so you can get a signal better and get him back on here. And at the same time, I want to hear a little bit from Field Yates of ESPN, who touched on what he thinks the compensation would be with this trade. Here's Field Yates from ESPN.
The Packers made this pick 3 years ago because they envisioned a 30-year run of quarterback stability evolving into a potentially 45-year run of quarterback stability. Does that mean that they're going to be an immediate contender next year to win the NFC Championship? Maybe not, but they've seen enough development from Jordan Love in his 3 years, basically as a practice quarterback, to feel confident that at some point down the line, this team is going to be back at the top of the NFC North and potentially the entire conference. And that's part of the reason why, as we continue to watch this trade negotiation unfold, for everybody saying, get as many picks as you can right now in 2023 to help Jordan Love, keep in mind, this is a multi-year investment. And if it ain't going to be perfect this year, it actually might behoove Green Bay to have draft capital that is stronger in value, even if it's a couple of years out. That is the core of this franchise. Draft, develop, and reinvest.
Couldn't agree more with that concept, right? If you know that the Jets are focused on winning now and winning this year, can you ultimately get more value by pushing into the future years? But at the same time, what sort of position do you put Jordan Love into? And I think that's the balance that this Packers team ultimately needs to show.
And I think if the Packers do approach it that way with the Jets, right, if they continue to say, like, hey, we don't care as much about this year. We want next year. Then you can potentially get Woody Johnson to bite on that. I think that's interesting, is because Field Yates puts it in a way that the Packers have done it. Do I trust that Goody's the guy to build the franchise with a lot of picks? Probably not. But they'd be really smart to try and pick up as many picks as possible. And if Woody's saying, hey, let's go all in this year, give him some more picks later on, I'm willing to risk that as long as we can bring in Aaron Rodgers into this building and actually see if we can make the playoffs for the first time in 12 years.
Scalzo and Brust here live from American Family Field, AmFam Field. Do want to give a shout out to our friends at American Family. You've heard me talk about my experience with them before, but it's amazing because I started with renters insurance with AmFam, right? Local Wisconsin company. Just, hey, I need to find somewhere to get renters insurance. It was required in a lot of apartments you had to rent in college at Madison. And then when I bought my first car, I stuck with American Family Insurance, and then I became close with the agent that I had. And next thing I know, when I was ready to buy a home, it was a no-brainer because I had somebody that I was close to, somebody that I trusted, somebody that I knew. And ultimately, that's important. Everybody wants a person, right? Hey, this is the person that I go to for that. This is the person I go to for that. So as a first-time homeowner, you have no idea what you're doing. You're terrified about everything that goes wrong. The nice part about American Family is when we had to submit a claim because something happened at our house, I didn't have to know all the answers. All I had to do was call my agent, Katie, at American Family Insurance. Plus, they've got specific policies designed for first-time homeowners and incredible technology to help you determine what policy fits your situation the best. When you protect both your home and auto with American Family, you can save up to 28%. We'll do some 1-0s next. It's Scalzo and Brust live from AmFam Field, hanging out at X Golf. We're presented by Bud Light.
I feel protected in here.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo and Brust.
When would I have learned that? I didn't take anatomy.
I mean, you probably would have learned it just in basic biology.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Biology I wasn't good at.
General curiosity.
Why would I have general curiosity?
Didn't you have a knee injury in high school?
No, I broke my ankle, tibia.
Why would I have general curiosity?
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Still pretty congested throughout the system. 43 southbound is still our biggest delay. About a 14-minute slowdown with the backup starting at Bender and clearing up at the Marquette interchange. 94 eastbound is clearing up a bit, but will still be about a 4-minute delay as you head from the zoo to the stadium interchange. And lastly, there's some backup on 41 southbound at the moment. You'll see about a 5-minute slowdown from Highway Q to the zoo. And time for a look at your storm team forecast. Tonight, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, but rising temperatures. You got a low of 47. And tomorrow, those scattered showers and thunderstorms continue, with some storms being strong or severe, and a high 60 degrees. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Finn Askin on 94.5 ESPN.
Cedar Ridge Distillery continues to make a home right here in Wisconsin. The original 86 bourbon is the best-selling bourbon in Iowa for 3 straight years, and you have the opportunity to get that here in Wisconsin. Also, the quintessential, the best American single malt, voted by John Barleycorn Awards, and Cedar Ridge manages every step of the production from grain to glass. Make sure you pick up the Scalzo and Brust private barrel of bourbon and rye whiskeys, available at Discount Liquor at 51st in Oklahoma or Barstow in Maine in downtown Waukesha.
What was the final straw for Jeff Levering?
When I walked into my son's room and there was frost on the hardware on the inside of the house. My wife was getting upset with the drafts coming through the doors. That was it.
Time to call Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
With all the options that Pella has, everybody on your staff has done a great job of making a really difficult decision super simple.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 4 years. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 3/31/2023.
It's Gary Allison here from Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape from the office? Or maybe you want to impress a potential client? Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center offers a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play courses like St. Andrews, Whistling Straits, and more. Even when it's not perfect golf weather outdoors, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and their best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer. At just $35 an hour for a bay, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is the perfect weekday getaway. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Even when you think you know what's going on,
They played some tight games, but they played.
Sorry, you can never be too sure.
I've got a cold.
Yes, but you also have a cough button over there.
Or an off button.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
I'm not going to do well that was on camera
at all. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Kessler's is America's largest employee-owned diamond store.
It's the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
As shoppers, we want better prices and more choices.
That's why we give you better prices and more choices.
We don't try to choose for you. We let you choose.
You can choose a diamond from a diamond mine.
A diamond as old as the earth itself.
You can choose a created diamond from a plasma chamber.
A diamond as new and fresh and sparkling as springtime.
And now you can choose a flickering firelight diamond.
Flickering firelight diamonds sparkle with a rich and regal golden glow.
At Kessler's, you choose from 3 different kinds of diamonds.
3 different kinds of diamonds.
Earth diamonds from diamond mines.
Created diamonds from plasma chambers.
And flickering firelight diamonds with a rich, regal golden glow.
We like to have choices, so we give you choices.
Kessler's is the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
A beautiful Grateful Dead Thursday here on Scalzo and Brust. See a little bit of sunlight peeking through. Nope, never mind. That's the grower on the field.
Okay, somebody asked me that question.
100%.
I thought it was sunlight, so it is a grower.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, right? Like, there's no way.
Yeah, because
it's
it
just
had
under
that
there.
same sunlight for an hour, and I thought it was...
These guys are confirming. Yep. So, yeah, it's like it's a portable sun here as we're hanging out at American Family Field. Not a sun in the sky, but the sun is shining at AmFam Field. We're hanging out at X Golf. This place is amazing. Golf bays left and right, overlooking the entirety of the stadium. Unfortunately, on a day in which the Milwaukee Brewers fell to the Cubs 4-0 at Wrigley Field. Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. Bud Light, brewed to be a delicious and easy-to-drink beer. Even when the little things in life are hard, like when the game is going into extra innings, but you have even more time to enjoy it, and a fresh Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Joshua, let's hit some 100-0s.
Are you a 1 or a 0? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0.
Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo are your contestants for 1 or 0. Josh DiMaggio, your host. He asks us a question. We say 1 for yes, 0 for no. There is no gray area. Joshy, take it away.
As we all know by now, today is opening day in Major League Baseball, where the Brewers started on the road against the Cubs in a game in which they got shut out. 1 or 0. Day games are the best times for baseball games.
I'm going to go with 1, but it has to be a weekend. There is something nice about a weekend day game in which you can get there, you can tailgate, you can drink a little bit, as many Bud Lights as you can possibly get in before you head into the American Family Field. And then afterwards, right, you have, like, these games are 2:21. The first game of the year, 2 hours and 21 minutes. You got your whole life ahead of you after that. You know, you get in 1:10, you're out by 3:30, 3:40. Versus, it could have been going to like 4:30 for some of these games. So I'm a big day game weekend guy.
Ben would be a day game guy. Of course, he qualified it with weekends. Yes, weekend day games tend to be better, but the answer is a night game. Like, there's nothing like being under the lights in a big game, going late past 10 p.m. when it feels like it just means more. A day game's like nice, and it's like a nice experience and a nice day. I'm a nice
experience kind of guy.
A night game just has a different energy when it means something, when it matters. It's when all the biggest games happen in prime time at night. Give me a night game.
Do our answers fit us so predictably well?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, let's stick with the opening day theme here. In response to a video on the ESPN Milwaukee Twitter account that asked if you would allow your kids to miss school for opening day with a video of Jason Wilde saying he did exactly that as a child, Homer responded by saying, "Not in a million years. There are 81 home games." Next, 1 or 0. You skipped school for opening day as a kid.
I like how you did that whole thing just to get the next in. That was well done. Did I skip school on opening day? I
can't recall. I think I'm a 0 here. But I'm 110% okay with it. If that's something that you create as a family tradition, then more power to you. Do it, right? Take your kid out. To Homer's point of there's 81 home games. Well, there's also 250 school days. What's 1 out of 250 versus 1 out of 81?
Yeah,
bless you.
Great Phil, by the way. What a professional. You can't just talk for 2 seconds.
I thought the audience would want to know why you
They can watch us on YouTube. They can watch us on a video on Wisconsin On Demand, at Scalzo and Brust, at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Beaver Dam, and yet you can't fill just 10 seconds.
I just thought being
No,
played.
you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I don't think I ever did skip school for opening day, but I got to watch this. Is this real? Did they just roll the ball right out?
So the ball here at X Golf comes out from the ground. It rolls right onto a tee.
And then the tee just pops up.
Pops
you don't even need to bend over?
Don't even need to bend down.
Oh, my God. That is remarkable.
Saving lower backs one swing at a time.
My parents would have happily let me skip school for opening day, and I guess I would feel the same way for my kid.
Did you ever skip school?
Yeah, I mean, like if there was like a championship parade, right? Growing up in Boston, like when there, like I would skip school for that, you know. But I don't remember skipping it for opening day. We just might never have had opening day tickets. Also, opening day when you have a outdoor stadium in cold weather, it doesn't hit as hard when you have an indoor stadium in cold weather. Like it just doesn't, because you look at the people at Wrigley Field today when it's 30 degrees out.
I don't want to be there.
It doesn't look that much fun.
No, not at all.
1 or 0. Speaking of no fun. Homer isn't
go ahead,
fun.
Joshy.
0. Homer is a lot of fun in the right spots.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 0 as well. He's definitely fun. He's just on a little bit of a curmudgeon kick right now.
Well, the Marquette thing hurt him. Like you can tell that he's still, the Marquette piece of it still bothering.
Yeah, I mean he's still fighting Twitter wars with people about it instead of moving on and focusing on, building off of this tremendous season where they drank lots of milkshakes after road wins.
Now it feels like you're being insulted.
I didn't try to.
Yeah.
Happens.
On the Pat McAfee show earlier today, A.J. Hawk said that he hasn't heard anything regarding Aaron Rodgers' trade to the Jets, and that it's, quote, feels a little too quiet to me. 1 or 0. The more quiet it is, the worse it is for the Packers.
Real quick before I answer that question, what has A.J. Hawk actually given any information that has led to us talking about it? You know what I mean? He doesn't break any news. He's Aaron's friend. It's obviously slanted if he's going to say something, but the more it's quiet, the worse it is for the Packers. Again, I just take nothing from A.J. Hawk on this one. I don't.
It's a 1. It's the worst it is for the Packers, because the Packers, and I know fans don't want to hear it, the Packers need to make this trade more so than the Jets. Like, the Jets can roll out another team that's very good without a quarterback, and I know Woody Johnson is anxious, and that's the greatest hope for the Green Bay Packers, is that you have an owner that doesn't care and is going to overspend and is going to make a rash decision. But when you look at Josh's favorite word, leverage, I think that, what are the Packers going to do otherwise? They want to get this toxicity out of their building, and they want to start focusing on Jordan Love. They can't do that until Aaron Rodgers is gone. So I do think that, for them, despite the fact that Woody might be a little anxious, it's more important for them to make this happen sooner rather than later than it is for the New York Jets. So I would say, yes, that is the case.
As Greg Scalzo marveled at earlier, you guys are currently at the X-Golf facility where the ball tees itself up at AmFam Field. 1 or 0. Everyone is a better golfer on the simulator.
1. I was two over through 8 holes. By no means when I play my first round of golf.
Well, that's probably because you were doing auto putt stuff, huh?
That's a good point. Inside 7 feet.
So now all of a sudden.
Yeah, but it goes to the point of you're going to be better on a simulator. I mean, because all of them are basically auto putt.
But I'm saying, that, to me, the short game is where the simulator gets way harder.
Way wacky.
So, if you turn on the auto putt, you're pretty much 2-putting every time. And if you 2-putt every time, then...
Not necessarily, but it definitely helps. It 100% helps. And there's something weird about staring at a screen and it says 30 yards. And, those are... So short, 30-yard little chip shots are hard enough when you're, looking at the flag and you're like, all right, I can't run this by. When you're just blindly trying to hit something.
I'm a field golfer. I don't know 30-yard.
Dude, you're the ultimate, I think this is Greg, give me that club. Because it's all feel for you. And that's my point. It's feeling something out looking at a screen is near impossible.
Difficult. Very difficult.
That's all I got for 1 or 0.
All right, thank you, Josh DiMaggio. Chris and Rome chimes in 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776.
I mean, we got to give him a round of applause.
Absolutely
not. 1 out of 4 this week, we actually did a 1 or 0, and I was able to answer questions.
I was complimentary of him earlier this week on 1 or 0 questions.
Well, it's my turn.
Okay, great job, Joshy.
Hey, thanks, boys.
Chris in Rome says, as it pertains to the Aaron Rodgers New York Jets impending trade, swap first-round picks, or the Packers get 42 and 43, or else tell the Jets to enjoy Allen Lazard edge blocking. Love you guys. Love you too, Chris and Rome.
I mean, no matter what,
My
Rodgers
question,
or not, he will be edge blocking.
My question then is, if the Jets are enjoying Allen Lazard edge blocking with Zach Wilson at quarterback, what is the Packers' world? What does it look like? 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. We'll get the phone lines back open. Is number 42 or number 43, so one of the Jets' second-round picks, enough, plus a conditional pick, enough for Aaron Rodgers? Again, 800-990-3776. Plus, we'll talk about the speed of baseball. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo and Brust.
I can't believe it. You're criminals.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
Basketball and Guinness, 2 reasons this is the best month of the year. Enjoy both together while watching your favorite team make a title run. Settle into the world of Guinness, over 260 years in the making. Enjoy a pint and the games at Kelly's Bleachers Big Ben, featuring softball, volleyball, and cornhole leagues, along with a tiki bar and live music this summer and fall. Also enjoy Guinness at Mason's, Club Paragon, New Berlin Ale House, and Champs Americana.
Even when you think you know what's going on,
Ashton has to work.
Ashton,
I'm sorry about that, buddy.
you can never be too sure.
We'll figure it out from there.
Wish I could get you off. Maybe I'll. Whoa.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Maybe I'll.
Happy to have you guys here.
Just happy.
Good luck to you.
I meant. I wish. Thank you. I said. I meant. I wish I could get him off of work. I wish I could get him off. You know what? I'm done.
It was a very
Mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
KD, is he in fact the player that's going to have the biggest effect on the playoff race in the West, or is it someone else?
It's LeBron James. It's not even a question.
Still LeBron James?
LeBron James coming back last night. I mean, look, I get Kevin Durant, Key, having a chance to win a championship. LeBron James and the Lakers are just as live now. I mean, because with their team with Rui Hachimura and the way they defended last night, the way they were blitzing Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan in the opening quarter of the game, like just his passing ability, and think about the legacy that comes in here. If they were to win, hovering around 9th, 10th all year long, what that does for LeBron, I say the impact on the playoff race, considering the Lakers with LeBron and where they were starting, I think is more impactful than Kevin Durant.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine. Fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did, for a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Select a request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders.
Yes, we do have availability. Those dates for how many guests?
Andrea's Boutique Hotel is the destination to tie the knot.
Oh, you want the whole property?
She needs an assistant to catch the bookings bouquets.
249 guests, huh? Oh, and 3 dogs.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
live from American Family Field here at X Golf. It is Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. Brewers lose 4-0 today. A disappointing loss, but the game wraps up in 2:20. Corbin Burns gives up 3 earned in a disappointing loss for the Milwaukee Brewers. I was feeling good. I know you made fun of me. I did lose 3 bets in the game, the first 5, the total game, and the run line. But, that's not a great Cubs team. I'm not a Stroman guy. Corby's coming out there with something to prove. I felt good about it. The concern remains the offense. It has to be the offense. And I know that we heard from some of the guys on the team that, hey, we're ready to rake this year. Game 1 of 162, we haven't seen it quite yet, but that's the nice part about baseball is you have 161 more to go.
You know what the Brewers opening day always feels like to me? It's like the Kentucky Derby, where I force myself to feel like I need to bet something, and I never win. And today was another example of me just giving money to the gambling universe like I do. That's my advice.
But you know what? We have nothing to complain about. We both went on the Wild Avs first period over yesterday. It was first period over 1.5. Avs Wild. We won the bet with 9 minutes left in the game. It was 9 minutes left in the period.
It was the most I could cry thinking about how exciting that was.
Why are you guys
unbelievable moment. Watching the puck and the speed in which the Wild and the Avalanche were going. McKinnon was getting the Avs going. Can't name a player on the Wild, but baby.
Both of them were Wild goals, including, no pun intended, including the one that won us the bet, in which it was a 4-on-3 because there were 3 penalties in the span.
And the guy popped out of the box.
The guy popped out of the box, and a breakaway puck from the goalie shot it down, and boom, had a 1-on-1 breakaway.
Electric.
Put it in for the goal. It was indeed electric. What did you say, Joshy?
Why are you guys betting Avs Wild? Did you catch a hot tip or something?
Well, 1, it was a national TV game, but 2, Potawatomi is opening up their sports book. You're going to be able to bet legally tomorrow at Pato. So, of course, we have to,
get
ready. You got to get in the mood.
Plus, if I'm going to be honest here, betting the Wild Avalanche first period over 1.5 goals was far more riveting than anything I saw in 9 innings of a 2-hour and 21-minute baseball game today.
It doesn't help when your team doesn't score a run, right? It doesn't help when the Brewers don't score. They had guys on base at certain points, but they just could not.
It's fascinating because we're having the same conversation about the Brewers that we have about the Packers, right? I feel like I'm saying the offseason conversation around Aaron Rodgers and Brian Gutekunst. The Brewers can't score runs. Here we go again. The pitching's
I'm going to have to disagree with you on this. The Brewers do more with less than almost every franchise in Major League Baseball. When you have a sport in which it is not salary capped.
I'm not comparing the sports. I'm more so saying the conversation about the Brewers is good pitching, whether it be the back end of the bullpen, starting pitching, and can't score runs. The Packers, it's the offseason drama, right? I'm just getting to the fact that if we're going to talk Brewers last year.
Oh, you're saying the conversations year over year are the same for each team.
Yes.
I'm I still don't understand.
Yeah. I knew I didn't do a great job there, but I knew we'd get there.
I feel like Josh understood it. You guys have been on the same page.
Lockstep, me and Joshy.
I didn't understand a word of what he said.
Come on, Josh.
I don't know what to tell you, brother.
Brewers only get 4 hits against the Cubs. Just an all-around disappointing loss.
How did my guy Yelly do? All I heard was
Burns had all 4 earned. Yeah.
All I heard was no shift was going to get it done for him.
Yelly went 0 for 2 with 2 walks, I believe. Just all-around disappointing game for the Brewers. But again, it's game 1. They're playing in the cold. It should have never been there. It should have been right here at American Family Field. That's where we're hanging out with the folks at X Golf. A whole bunch of great people coming down to enjoy the game. They've got the lights going on the grass. It looks beautiful, actually.
I kind of want to go tanning under those lights. You know what I mean?
You're a tanning guy.
Believe it or not, and I know you'll probably put this on the poll. Do you believe Ben Brust that he's never been tanning? I have never been tanning in my entire life.
I believe you. Ron in the Key says Ben hasn't managed to obtain a Brewer quarter zip. Next break, he needs to head to the merch store, and he compliments my outfit. Thank you, Ron.
You do look good. Unfortunately, this quarter zip today, have you ever seen this before? I've had this quarter zip for probably 4 months. The zipper completely came off.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
All right, well, news to me for something that I paid way too much money for.
You've never had a zipper fall off?
Not after 3 months, and it cost me $100.
What is my wee-wee doing right now?
That just played on the loudspeaker here, and it's amazing.
Pete McGuanago says, to intentionally walk somebody now, do they not even have to throw a pitch anymore? Just stand there and make faces at the umpire. Yes, they don't need to throw a pitch anymore for an intentional walk.
It's been like 3 years in the making, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I know some of these rule changes seem gimmicky right now, but if the end product is you get more action in less time, then I think it's a good change overall.
Yeah.
People can't complain that baseball's unwilling to change and then complain about changes.
I'm trying my best, Greg, because you know what I am right now. I'm the overreact to 162 right now. I'm game one. All I was told the entire offseason, bigger bases, stolen bases, no shifts, more singles, more runs, more this, more that.
Yeah, but hold on.
I'm saying I'm prisoner of game one right now. I'm being that guy.
You're that guy.
Everyone hates that guy, and I'm that guy.
You're talking about an anemic offense with the Milwaukee Brewers, and we all knew that the biggest change that was going to happen. I also think that you have the misconception that the idea of the idea of shortening the game means there's more action in a small period of time. It's not as spread out. Just because you shorten the game and have the pitch clock, it doesn't mean necessarily.
Well, I saw the statistics from last year to what we were seeing in spring training.
I know, but I'm saying it doesn't automatically. You're not going to get more home runs necessarily. Now, pitchers might tire more easily. They might leave a little bit earlier. But you're also going to have clubs that go ahead and figure that out and strategize differently.
Well, let's strategize better in game two. How about that?
All right. Hot take there. Benny Baseball chiming in here on Scalzo and Brust. Right now, Albert Breer puts the compensation for Aaron Rodgers coming back to... What?
I'm a Woodruff guy. I was just adding more Brewers talk.
Do you think that was a good spot to do it?
No, not mid-sentence about Albert Breer. Pat on the back to me.
Pat on the back to you. The compensation that we're hearing is 1 second-round pick from the New York Jets in this year's draft and a future conditional pick if Aaron Rodgers continues to play. Is that enough for Aaron Rodgers? 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. We'll hit that next coming up here on Scalzo and Brust. But first, Benny's got to tell you about Screamin' Sicilian.
It's so screaming good, baby. When I think of Screamin' Sicilian pizza, I think about deliciousness that I probably had 3 or 4 times this week alone. Stopped at my local grocer's freezer. I said, hey, you know what? I love the thin and crispy. I'm going to do the thin and crispy. Also had the OG Screamin' and my Boss Hog, just the irregular Italian sausage. And I always save the best for last. When I know the week might get a little bit tough and I know I'm going to come home and I'm going to want my favorite Screamin' Sicilian, Joshy, what do? I take out the Mambo Italiano. Mambo! Find your Screamin' pleasure, whether it be the thin and crispy stuffed crust cheese or the OG Screamins or all the other Palermo's brands in your local grocer's freezer.
Back in 2 minutes, live from AmFam Field. It is Scalzo and Brust.
Quite a few backups running through the system. Those delays on 43 southbound are now stretching up to Silver Spring Drive and run all the way down to the Marquette Interchange. 16 minutes of delays through that stretch. Heading eastbound on 94, there's a 10-minute delay with the biggest delays stretching from the Zoo to Hawley Road. However, you'll be tapping on the brakes all the way into the city. And if you're heading southbound on 41, there's about an 8-minute delay from Highway Q to the Zoo. And a look at your storm team forecast. Scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with rising temperatures and a low of 47. And tomorrow, those scattered showers and thunderstorms continue with some storms being strong or severe and a high of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Finn Askin on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And you know, there's more to being a local Wisconsin bank than perfectly pronouncing Oconomowoc or Waukesha. Or is it Waukesha? But rest assured, at Great Midwest Bank, we understand the local community and economy because we're a part of it. At GMB, we provide customized lending products that others just can't offer. Experience a hometown banking difference. head to greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. This is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light on 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
Live from American Family Field, hanging out at the beautiful X-Golf facility here. It is truly unbelievable. It is Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, you. The Scalzo and Brust family calling, texting 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust. Brewers fall 4-0 to the Cubs. Corbin Burns giving up 4 earned in his debut. 5 innings. Yelich goes 0 for 2. Had 2 walks from the leadoff spot. Only 4 hits for the Brewers as those offensive concerns creep up to catch them in game 1. Still 161 more to go. Game finished in 2 hours and 20 minutes for those who are wondering how the pitch clock is going to change all of our lives this summer when it comes to baseball.
Yeah, I love it. You know, I'm going to be prisoner of the moment of game 1, but stay with me, Greg. Stay with me. Here's why. Because
nobody's flip-flopped more on this than Ben Brust has in the last
baseball's throwing me through for a little bit of a loop today. The rule changes, the timing. So today we're at American Family Field X-Golf. So we're talking with people. Didn't get to sit down and digest the entire game like I would if I was in the stands watching the game, because obviously the game was in Wrigley Field. At American Family Field, I go with some people every year in which I didn't know this, but they set an over-under of when I'm going to get anxious about, you know, checking the phone, checking the time, when am I going to leave. So when I hear 2 hours and 21 minutes, baseball fan Ben is very, very excited. Because here's the thing. If it's a 4-0 loss that the Brewers are playing in, or a 4-0 win, like you said, if they're getting their butts kicked, at least I'm out of there in 2 hours and 21 minutes, and I see the full 9 innings. Otherwise, it's 4-0 in the 6th inning, and I'm scratching my arm thinking, how can I get to Potawatomi Hotel Casino and go sports gamble on other things? So
is this have more to do with you, or
I think there are definitely some people in my camp about, you know, how long these games are, right?
I wonder why they wouldn't be doing that for the other people in the group.
I couldn't hear you, Joshy.
I wonder why they wouldn't be doing that for the other people in the group.
Yeah, maybe I'm an outlier. But they made the rule changes for a reason.
Here's the thing: is I like the fact that the change is being made. We know that baseball needs to be sped up, and there is more action going on when you are watching the game. It keeps your attention more. It certainly did for me today, and even in spring training. Like the pitcher gets the ball and they're ready for the next pitch, and the batter is going to get ready in a much more reasonable time. I understand that people might look at it and say, hey, it's interesting that you say you usually want to leave the game earlier, because I think the argument would be people would rather stay at the game for longer, because this feels more like a TV solution than it does an in-game solution. I do think people love going to baseball games and having sort of a nice, relaxing time. Ben, the outlier, sees it the exact opposite way.
I don't know about that, because I'm definitely the outlier. I'll stop there. I'm sorry.
I mean, people want to come and enjoy some beers and watch the game.
Crack some peanuts.
So I can understand, hey, okay, I'm paying all this money and I get 2 hours, 20 minutes, but I still think that's a good thing. Like, you look at the NBA, it's one of the best things about the NBA is those games are tight, they're action-packed, whether you're going to the game, you know there's something always going on. The Brewers obviously do a fantastic job of programming the games and making sure there's always something going on. But now on TV, too, like, you're not dealing with 3.5 hour games. And if it's a great game where there's constant action, that's okay.
It will go longer.
But when it feels like when it feels slow and it feels like there's so much time in between pitches, I think this is something that eventually also is going to catch up to the NFL. And I know the NFL feels like it's king right now. Nobody can ever defeat it. But the amount of time between plays and the amount of action time versus game time has really sunk down. Everybody's looking at their phones and people enjoy it. You could track fantasy football and you could do all that. But at some point,
Red Zone.
It comes back to the action and how entertaining the actual game is. So I like the shortened games. I think it's going to be beneficial. It's going to take us all a little while to get used to it, but I think it's a good thing.
I swear, if on Monday I come here and the Brewers score 0 runs, game 4, I'm going to have to give up. I'm going to have to give up because, again, I understand your point of with the game shortening, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be like tons more runs and home runs and action, but if in a tighter game in 2 hours and 20 minutes, the Brewers are still in the category of like anemic from a scoring perspective, that's going to be hard as a baseball fan to want to go see.
But that has nothing to do with the sport of baseball. You're basically saying you don't want to watch the Brewers because they are not a good offensive team. Now, again, you're the prisoner of the moment because you watched one game so far.
But it's indicative of how the season went last year, and it is one game.
It is one game, Ben. I don't think it's fair to be
Bet the over tomorrow at Wrigley. Wind's blowing out.
I mean, it's like I wouldn't panic quite yet, but I don't think that you worried that the Brewers aren't going to score a lot has to do with the rule changes of baseball. I think that has to do with can Christian Yelich, who is 15, 16, 17% of the entire team's cap. Can he return to form with the changes to the shift? He did have 2 walks today. He got on base from the leadoff spot. We've seen success from him there. He did not get a hit. He went 0 for 2. Brewers only got 4 hits throughout. But I think it's going to take a little while for us to understand the flow of all of this and to see what players benefit from the shift not being there or how maybe overblown it is that the shift isn't there, that the size of the base has changed. I think there's going to be an impact, but I don't think we'll understand what that impact is for certain players, for certain teams, until we get a little bit deeper into the season. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776, number to get into the show. We did post a poll earlier today. Is a second-round pick and an additional conditional pick enough in return for Aaron Rodgers?
Can I guess because I haven't seen it.
Guess.
73% no.
62% no, 38% yes. Hottest of take-ups, Jacob chimes in and says, if the condition is he plays next year equals first rounder, then yes, Rodgers is not walking from that money. I don't think that's going to be usually conditional round picks don't peek into the first, although I do think it's possible that it's a third that turns into a second, and maybe there's a pick coming back to the Jets that's a late round pick. I think there's going to be some pieces to it. We'll see. TJ from the road doesn't think that a second-round pick and a conditional pick is enough. He says, a resounding no. That is not enough. They need to fire the GM and Mark Murphy if that happens.
See, but that's the thing. It is from TJ's from the road standpoint, like, it's not where we are now of why Goody and Mark Murphy should be fired, right? It's the idea that they put themselves in a scenario where they don't have as much to get for Aaron Rodgers. They gave him a contract, right? And this is still the fascinating part of it all. I think you hit on this yesterday. Why is Aaron Rodgers, who clearly doesn't like the Packers organization. I think what Aaron Rodgers tried to do is what he came back and had his speech for 30 minutes in 2021 and said, it's about the people, right? This, that, and the other thing. I think he wanted to try and instill change into the front office, and the front office was scared because they were like, well, he's an MVP. We don't know we have in Jordan Love, and they gave him a contract. So both sides really didn't want to be with each other. It was like they both were trying to prove something and keep a job and keep Aaron happy. And next thing you know, 1 year later, one season, which they're one game away from making the playoffs, they blow everything up after giving him the contract. It's completely mismanaged. So if you want to do the fire Murphy and Gut thing, it's not because of what they get back from the trade. It's because of how they've handled the last 3 years of this situation.
Dick in downtown chimes in, says, hey, I want to stop by to see you at the X Golf at AmFam Field. Is Brust willing to buy shots or drinks for the Scalzo and Brust family?
I did buy drinks one time. The Brewers in a playoff series did something. I think I bought like $150 worth of Bud Lights. But they didn't score any runs today, so I can't do that.
No context whatsoever. Do you genuinely not remember what happened?
Genuinely. We were at the Mecca.
Dick in downtown continues willing to take the Rogers trade today to move on from this mess. Mark Murphy and Goody started.
Joshy just distracted me, sorry.
Wow, Joshy, he's shrinking from that challenge. Shrinking from
he
it.
Is, I
want to see the video of him reading that, thinking about it, and then shaking his head.
Oh, crap, we are on stream. Holy cow.
Well, to put context behind what I said if you out-drive Ben Brust, he'll buy you a beer.
Correct. Ben's too worried about that. You know what? He's a drive for show, putt for dough kind of guy. He doesn't have the strongest drive in the world.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a consistent 220 to 260. Like, I keep it in play. I'm not a big hitter.
Like think of your grandfather. That's what you get with Ben Brust. 515 chimes in. I don't actually hit it that much further than you. But, the joke was right there.
It was a good joke, but it hurt.
515 adds the price for what you get in return for Aaron Rodgers goes way down when he is due $60 million and constantly pondering retirement. That certainly plays a large role in all of that. Ron in the Key says, can we get TJ Hogan on to talk Brewers on opening day, please, for the content? Terrence and Tosa, of course, our number one Milwaukee Brewers fan.
We'll see how the Cubs series goes.
We'll see if Josh can get a hold of him. We don't know what kind of shape Terrence is in right now after a 4-0 loss. Not to mention, I believe the Caps lost in a overtime shootout last night that we were watching.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, he's in a tough spot right now.
Yeah.
He might be. He actually might be here at American Family Field with a picket fence, but I won't go there.
I can tell you by the fourth inning, TJ was mad. I ran across him in the office. He was not happy with how things are playing out.
Ben from Madison says this is absolutely a good deal for the Packers. I thought a second-round pick alone was fair for a guy who might play one lousy year and retire, especially when the Packers don't want him there. I think that's fair. The idea of a second in the conditional pick is will he play more? So if he plays 1 year, then you probably end up with a second-round pick. If he plays more than a year, you're going to get a second, and whatever that conditional pick is tied to. We'll see, again, when all of that plays out.
Want to give a shout out to my guy Matty at the Princeton Club. Got my workout in this morning. Did some abs, feeling nice and strong in the core. Got another basketball game out in Kaukauna for the Holy Cross tournament. So we worked on those muscles that were going to be effective for me playing basketball.
Who are you playing on Friday in the Holy Cross tournament?
The high school all-star team.
So you're playing high schoolers as a former Division I Final Four level athlete.
But
you're playing high schoolers on Friday.
Like Zach Showalter's on my team. Aaron Maish.
Wait, you have all grown men who played for the Badgers playing high schoolers?
Look, the Milan guy's a top 50 player in the country.
Is the line like 50 points? Like 20 points?
We shouldn't lose to the high schoolers.
This kid that you're talking about is a top 50 recruiter. I guess he's a junior?
Yeah, and he's a stick figure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean, dude. You're a grown man.
Again, my guy Matty was taking care of me so I could be a strong-willed Ben to show these high schoolers up, even though I don't even need that. Like, I'm just going to get it done with the skill because I'm still more skilled than all these guys. All they do is play one-on-one. They don't know how to read the game. It drives me nuts. Princeton Club is amazing. The Madison East has new functional strength training. All the West people, you should go check out East because it's amazing out in Madison what they did there. We have it in New Berlin, here in Milwaukee. Princeton Club always renovating. It's clean. It's great. It's community. I love it. Join the Princeton Club for your better tomorrow.
Will you dunk on one of these high schoolers? Like, for me.
No, but
I want you to put your chest in them.
I want you to buckets for you.
I want you to no. I want you to put your chest in them. I want you to paint up, post up, and I want you to like own these guys. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
they're 16-year-old kids.
I will grab some grown man rebounds, like where I time it and jump.
Why not dunk?
Dude, dunking's. I'm 31 now. Like everything. I'm also going. We're going to be on remote tomorrow. I'm driving an hour and a half, getting out of the car. There's no way this body's going to be able to dunk. It's all about preservation of where your energy's spent. I'm not 24, Greg. What do you want from me? I'm 6'2".
Yeah,
you
Ron,
I'm 6'8".
You're 6 feet tall, according to.
And now you want me
Wikipedia.
to? You want 6 feet Ben to dunk?
I saw high school 6 foot Ben to dunk.
High school.
Yeah, you're stronger now than you ever were.
Yeah, not athletic as I was.
Ron wants to. What's the spread tomorrow?
The spread's probably 9.5.
Okay, all right, that's fair. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. We've got over-under par coming up next here on Scalzo and Brust. We need caller 6, caller 9. 800-990-3776, caller 6, caller 9 for over-under par on Scalzo and Brust. Josh DiMaggio is a category. We don't know what it is. He's got an over-under line set for the amount of correct answers Ben and I will get within 3 minutes. We don't know what that is either. Caller number 6, you'll learn both, and you'll bet over or under. And caller number 9, you're stuck on the other side. And the winner wins a foursome to the beautiful Wild Rock Golf Course. Over under par coming up next on Scalzo and Brust. Caller 6, caller 9, 800-990-ESPN.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo and Brust.
How many compartments does a cow's stomach have?
4.
Scalzo and Brust.
What's amazing is that people are still accusing you of cheating.
How? I would cheat to win, not cheat to lose.
Because the 4 compartments in a cow's stomach.
Because there's 4 little things that you know.
This is why people think that you cheat.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Those delays on 43 southbound are still holding strong. Still looking at about 16 minutes of delays through Silver Spring down to the Marquette. Heading eastbound on 94, there's now a 15-minute delay with pretty much stop-and-go traffic from the zoo into downtown. And if you're heading southbound on 41, there's still an 8-minute delay from Highway Q to the zoo. Traffic is brought to you by Evans Transportation in Brookfield, where they provide customized logistics solutions to keep you and your business moving forward. Time for a look at your storm team forecast. Tonight, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with rising temperatures. Your low will only be 47. And Friday, those scattered showers and thunderstorms continue, with some storms being strong or severe, and a high of 60 degrees. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Finn Askin on 94.5 ESPN.
Show me your Guinness. We want to see you enjoying Guinness Pints this month at your favorite Milwaukee area establishments. Take a picture with your Guinness, scan the QR code, and enter to win amazing prizes all month when you show me your Guinness.
The next disaster is coming. Make a plan. Keep extra medication on hand. Make copies of important documents. Stay informed and be ready. Learn more at americares.org/sendusin.
Drew and Jonathan Scott here to tell you that American Family Insurance wants to protect your dreams. So whether you're at home singing in the shower,
every note,
or prefer singing your heart out in the car like Drew,
cruising,
you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Aaron Rodgers is coming back.
This isn't a decision day. This isn't me deciding and announcing to the world that this is what's going on.
Kinda.
In fact, that's already happened. Yeah, we're actually days past this.
QB1 is putting on the pads for another year.
And also the reality of the situation. Like it is what it is. Packers would like to move on. They've let me know that in so many words. They've let other people know that in direct words.
The latest on Aaron Rodgers, all day, every day, on 94.5 ESPN.
A wide array of opportunities abound at Waste Management.
They do whatever they can to make sure that you're set up for success, both within the career and just in your personal life as well. The benefits that are offered here are honestly some of the most insane benefits that I've ever seen. They're paying for people to go to college. They invest in the employees as human beings. I've never seen anything like that.
Join the Waste Management family. Just search online, Waste Management Careers.
Homer, Tony, living in perfect harmony. Yeah, right.
I think Rodgers is happy because he wants to play somewhere else. The Packers are happy because they want him to play somewhere else. And the Jets are happy because they want him. Tony, isn't everybody happy?
No, everybody's being spiteful right now. Happy people aren't spiteful.
So who's being spiteful?
No one.
So I know.
Everybody.
Listen to Homer and Tony weekdays from 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN and wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Since 1964, Ewald Automotive has been on a journey to make car buying easier for your family. So if you want an easy experience, head to Ewald's 59th anniversary sale. Ewald guarantees the lowest price and includes their exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on new vehicles. Plus, with live market pricing, you'll never overpay for a used car. Shop over 1,000 vehicles. Ewald's anniversary sale is going on now through month end.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
An unbelievable Grateful Dead Thursday here on Scalzo and Brust. On opening day, as the Brewers fall 4-0 to the Chicago Cubs. Corbin Burns, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. Brewers only get 4 hits. Yelich 0 for 2 from the leadoff spot, but got on base twice. He had 2 walks. We are live at American Family Field right now, hanging out at X Golf. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio running the show. Ben from Madison chimes in, and Ben says, hey, I'll take the high school kids and the points. Benny is trash. In case you missed it, Ben is a 9.5-point favorite with some of his former Badger teammates who played at a very high collegiate level. They're taking on a group of high schoolers in a basketball tournament tomorrow night.
Thanks for the support, Greg.
I would bet you guys. I would take the points. I think you guys will wipe the floor by 20.
Dinging Ben and Madison.
Did everyone that's going to be playing on that team at one point play on a number 1 or 2 ranked team?
What do you mean?
For the Badgers.
For the Badgers.
No, our team also consists of guys that didn't play for the Badgers. There are only 3 that I mentioned who played for the Badgers. The rest are D2, D3 guys.
Is it 3-on-3 or 5-on-5?
5-on-5, 20-minute halves, baby.
Oh, you guys
referees
dominate. Kidding me? 3-on-3, you'd worry that you get a little tired. Those young kids could, but 5-on-5, just beast them. Joshy, let's get to some over-under.
Will the guys hit the over, or will they disappoint, like they usually do? It's time for Over Under Par on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Wild Rock Golf Course. Advanced purchase passes are on sale now. Go to wildrockgolf.com to order yours today.
It is Over Under Par, presented by Wild Rock Golf Course. A chance for you to win a foursome to the beautiful Wild Rock Course. Here's how the game is played. Josh DiMaggio has a category. We don't know what it is. He's also got an over-under line. We don't know what that is either. He's told caller number 6. Both of those, and caller number 6, who's Chris and Madison, got to choose whether he believes us or not, and he does. He picks the over. He has confidence we're going to get over whatever the line that Josh set is. That means caller number 9, Matt from Oak Creek, is stuck on the under. Benny and I, we get 10 guesses to pick as many correct answers in the category as possible within 3 minutes. Josh, what do we have today?
Everyone thought I was going to go baseball, but I went a total different direction. 10 largest shoe brands in America based on annual revenue. The over-under is 6.5, and as a note, I do want to say I'm not looking for Jordan or the brand formerly known as Yeezy. I'm looking for what would be considered their parent
manufacturer.
Yeah.
Is this sneakers or any types of shoe?
Any shoe is what I was searching for.
Are you going to start? Let us know.
I thought you guys usually have some comments, but if you're ready, I'm ready.
I feel a lot of responsibility for Chris and Madison because that's a sick prize, so let's get it done for them.
All right, clock starts in 3, 2, 1.
I mean, it's still got to be Nike, right?
Final answer.
You're absolutely correct. Nike is number one with $44.5 billion.
Adidas. You have to say it like that?
Yeah, Adidas.
No, it's Adidas. I feel like you should give us a wrong answer for that, actually.
Adidas is 4.4 million.
Oh, Josh!
Billion, and it is the fourth on the list.
What about New Balance? They're making a comeback.
I would say it. Yep.
New Balance is fifth with 4.4 billion.
Man.
Prada? Like, I don't know. Like, is there like a
Prada?
Is there like a female shoe that's popular? What about like ACs? Like, you know what I'm saying? No, you don't.
I don't. Asics?
2 minutes.
I would get, sure, try Asics.
Asics.
Final answer.
Asics or ACs is seventh on the list.
Yeah! Thanks, buddy.
What about those ones now that I forget what they're called? They're like Quiet Comfort or Comfort something, and I could see the logo right now. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Dick in Downtown wears them sometimes.
Nike, Adidas. Cole Haan is part of Nike.
Does Puma start?
I think Puma might be on there.
Timberland? Like, are we talking like
Puma, Timberland? We're gonna run out of time, so I'm writing some.
What about Converse?
I mean, it's kind
like
of
Chuck
trendy.
Taylor's, like
trendy.
There's a lot
Crocs.
1 minute.
Let's go Crocs and Converse. Final answer on both.
Converse is ninth on the list. Crocs is not on it at all.
Puma, Timberland.
Do people still wear Skechers?
Ooh.
I'm getting a yes and no, a maybe. Let's go Skechers. Final answer. We have to start.
I wear my K-Swiss.
Skechers is on there?
Third on the list. The
30
olds are keeping them
seconds.
alive.
Wow.
We're 6 of 7, Greg. We just got to
Do we
get
go
one more.
Puma?
So I have Puma.
Oh, dude, we haven't guessed Reebok.
Reebok. Final
Reebok.
answer. Yeah. All
Shout
right.
out JJ Watt.
Reebok.
I thought Reebok was a part of Adidas.
No.
Reebok is actually the 10th on the
Okay,
list.
take it easy, audience. Jeez.
It's embarrassing.
Didn't Reebok either get merged with somebody? I swear, I'm not losing my mind.
Whatever. Who cares? Joshy, congratulations to our guy, Chris in Madison. You win a foursome to play up at Wild Rock Golf Course. Josh, can you run through the top 10 shoe brands, I'm guessing, in 2022?
Yeah, so you guys got Nike. The one you named a few times and shocked me that was on the list is 2 is Puma, 3 is Skechers, 4 Adidas.
Wait, so is this global and not U.S.?
No, this is U.S.
This is U.S.
Puma?
Puma's number 2 on the list?
I was stunned by it, but the difference in number is, from
We
all
didn't
of
even
these
guess Puma.
is like a few $1 billion, so it's not like Nike's way ahead, and then everyone else is kind of in a clump.
All right, Nike, Puma.
Nike, Puma, Skechers, Adidas, New Balance, Burberry was number 6 with 3.1
You wear Burberry, don't you?
billion.
No.
Asics.
Burberry?
The 8th was Vans, and then you guys both got 9 and 10, which was Converse and Reebok.
Wow, what a performance by us. Well done to Scalzo and Brust.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
How nice of them to clap for us.
That's just really them clapping against Josh DiMaggio. I think we all know that.
We all can get behind that.
But look, we're smart. And it reminds me of our friends at Smart Spaces, right? They help make our office more technologically integrated, smarter, able to perform beautifully across all virtual meeting environments. Joshy's back at the 3rd Street Market Hall, where we have our GKB Milwaukee offices. And when we made that move, we knew, right? It's a virtual world. We were going to have to integrate technology into the interior of our office space to allow our people to do what they do best and allow the technology to take care of everything else. And that's what Smart Spaces does for your business. They get you the right technology for the right reasons with a listen-first culture to learn your business's needs and provide seamless solutions for your office. So the next time you have a virtual meeting or hybrid meeting, or you've got some people in the office, some people out of the office, you don't have to fumble around with all different things. Nope. You just hit one button on a screen, at least our office, and boom, everybody is brought together and the entire room is outfitted. So you don't have to be close to a microphone. You don't have to be close to a speaker. It is already provided for you. Check out how they can help your business today at smartspaceswi.com. That's smartspaceswi.com. Benny Brewers makes his debut next. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
I bet he was a hairy middle schooler. I bet he was a really hairy middle schooler.
You nailed it. I still don't have chest hair, and he had chest hair in 7th grade. Wow. Very strong, very athletic.
Soft chest hair, too. Sorry, continue.
Soft chest hair is in, like, not soft because he's soft, but soft because he's very beautiful.
Kind you want to run your hands through.
I would. Sorry, you were saying.
I don't remember anymore because now I'm thinking about rubbing my hand through Jimmy Garoppolo's chest hair in 7th grade.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Still quite a bit of congestion out there right now. 43 southbound is down to a 10-minute delay with the heaviest traffic running from Locust till the Marquette interchange. 94 eastbound is still about a 10-minute delay as well, with heavy congestion running all the way from the zoo into downtown. And 41 southbound Highway Q to the zoo is still about 8 minutes slow. Now for a look at your storm team forecast. Tonight, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with rising temperatures, just a low of 47. And tomorrow, those scattered showers and thunderstorms continue, with some of those storms being strong or severe, and a high of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Finn Askin on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Greg Scalzo for Smart Spaces. How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
The technology frustrations we hear about, hands down, ease of use.
We take that complexity out of it and keep it down to the bare minimum of what they need and what they use.
Our goal is to lend a level of simplicity that any knowledge level can walk into that room and at a glance know exactly how to turn that room on and utilize all of its features.
Let Smart Spaces transform your business today. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
Just because the buzzer hits doesn't mean the game ends. Highlights.
Holiday back to Giannis, and Giannis will staple it through with a two-hand jam.
Reaction.
Bucks have been very good. So we're talking about 3 months now that the Bucks have been the best team in the league, and the Bucks and the Sixers have been the 2 best teams by a wide margin.
Your thoughts.
Take care of the glass. You know, we need to do that, and we did it in the 4th quarter.
Nobody knows the Bucks like Justin Garcia. Catch Bucks Talk after every game right here on 94.5 ESPN.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for 2, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack 0.5-liter bottles, essential everyday natural spring water, $3.99. 8 to 9 ounce potato chips, 15-ounce pretzels, or 10 to 12-ounce tortilla chips, selected varieties, 2 for $5. 5 to 8 ounce package, selected varieties, Sargento Deli-style sliced cheese, 2 for $6. 19.5 to 34-ounce package, selected varieties, Sara Lee fruit or cream pies, $5.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase for Aunt
Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Benny Brewers, I should say. We'll get that in approximately 15 minutes.
Too bad we're not indoors, you know? Actually, we are at American Family Field where there is a roof.
That is true. We are hanging out here at American Family Field, hanging out at X Golf. Some fantastic people hanging out here all
Scalzo
day.
Just signed like 10 autographs. It was unbelievable. They love you. They like my jokes, too.
Joshy, thank you. I was waiting for the laugh track on that one. Yes, we are hanging out here at X Golf. It's opening day today for Major League Baseball. Brewers fall to the Cubs 4-0. Only garnered 4 hits. Christian Yelich 0 for 2. With 2 walks from the leadoff spot, Corbin Burns goes 5 innings, giving up 4 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Your hits coming from Willy Adames. Contreras got one, which is nice to see him get one on the board.
Hey, you're stealing from Benny Baseball.
Okay, I'll let Benny Baseball catch the world up on that. Well, then why do you need another 15 minutes if it's literally just saying what happened today?
Well, box score Benny needs to dissect, Corbin and how he threw.
Is that all Benny Brewers we're going to get here? I thought we were going to get like some entertainment.
I'm working on that too.
All right.
It's in the pipeline.
All right, we'll see what that looks like. On Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust, we did ask the question earlier today based off the Albert Breer report. I don't even know if it's a report necessarily, but a response in his mailbag talking about the compensation being closer than many people realized for the Jets' Aaron Rodgers trade. He says it's going to be something like a second-round pick. The Jets have 2 at 42 overall and 43 overall, and an additional conditional pick. We ask you, is that enough in return for Aaron Rodgers? 61% say no, 39% says yes.
Gosh, I mean, I feel like we bridged the gap a little bit, right? I think the more that time has gone on, the more the Packer fans are at first it was once Aaron Rodgers spoke on the Pat McAfee show, get him out of here and make sure we get, a haul. We need at least a first. We need this. We need that. We need a player with it. And now we've gotten to the point now where I feel less of like we need the world and more of like a little bit more reasonable. And I think that's natural in any negotiation, especially when you have you can say it. Aaron Rodgers, in a way, is what Goody is trying to make sure he gets the most amount of value from, because he doesn't want Aaron Rodgers to win. This is a battle of those two. Not Joe Douglas, not Woody Johnson. It's a battle between Brian Gutekunst and Aaron Rodgers, the same way that it's been a battle the last 3 or 4 years inside 1265. When they see each other, whether it was fake smiles, fake conversations, I mean, going back to training camp after Aaron Rodgers' 2021 adventure when he went to Hawaii and to Jeopardy, the picture of Brian Gutekunst talking to Aaron Rodgers on the field. Like, there's just so much between those two that I think it's great that I can feel the fans simmering in terms of like, yeah, even to the fact that people are like, if they got 2 first-round picks, I'd be happy. We were in a first and a second, no less than 2 weeks ago. Now we're in the ballpark of if the fans are in the ballpark, that means the conversation.
I don't think the fans are in the ballpark necessarily. Kay Forsyth chimes in on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust says both 2023 second-round picks, a 2024 second-round pick that becomes a first if the Jets make the playoffs, doesn't become a first depending on how far you go in the playoffs. Plus Johnson, Ruckert, and Mims coming back in exchange for Aaron Rodgers.
I mean,
a little bit greedy on that.
That has to be a joke.
Chris Jones says yes, that is enough. Even if he's a four-time MVP, he's due $60 million in pondering retirement every year. Siege says both second-rounders this year and call it done. Meanwhile, Cam from the Heights says if the Packers have to pick up most of the cap hit, I'd like to see them switch the first-rounders, meaning trading 15 for 13, moving down 2 slots if you're the Packers. But the Packers dropped the ball entirely. Hashtag it is what it is.
Don't know how I feel about the hashtag it is what it is.
New Berlin Steve chimes in, says New Berlin Steve. Come on, people.
Hey, Steve.
Rodgers is worth more than 1 second-round pick. That's a joke. Solid role players get a second-round pick as compensation, not a quarterback and a Hall of Fame one. The last time this trade happened, it was Brett Favre being traded from the Packers to the New York Jets for a conditional 4th-round pick that turned into a 3rd-round pick. He was a quarterback and a Hall of Fame one at that.
But I played a lot of seasons after leaving the Green Bay Packers. Was it 2 with the Jets and the Vikings? Or what? Regardless, we know that Brett Favre played more than 1 season.
He did.
The idea that Aaron Rodgers could retire after next season, it feels very, very, very real.
Joshy, what say you? Do you feel like this is fair compensation, enough compensation? You are obviously 100% behind Goody and Mark Murphy seemingly in everything that they do. Do you feel like this is a good move?
And who's got the most leverage?
That's an unfair characterization by Greg Scalzo, but I think given the circumstances, the fact that it's a year too late, the situation they're currently in, it's pretty fair, and I don't think expecting more with especially Aaron Rodgers having the I could retire at any time. I don't see much more of trying to get that first-round pick, especially because it's a top 15 pick. If they're picking in the bottom half, I could see the Packers making an argument for that. I just don't see any way or any worth to trying to fight for one of those first picks. And a pick swap doesn't do me much. You move up literally a spot. Well, it's 2 spots.
2 spots in the first round, and the picks are 42 and 43 in the second round for the Jets. So, I mean, at that point, one of the second-round picks, I don't think I wouldn't care. I mean, maybe that's why I'm a bad negotiator. 42 or 43, what's the difference? What's the chances the Packers are going to take somebody that the Jets would take?
I mean, possibly they would both obviously want the higher pick on that, which probably is why you're not always the best negotiator.
Gosh darn it.
Because you just give up value like that, but
Good
that
snap.
is
Quality snap.
Thank you.
I just got to point this out, Greg. You're our paint the picture guy. Did you see they turned the lights on in left field now too? I feel like
it's not the lights on in left field. It is the grow lights here that are basically running up and down across the outfield at American Family Field, making sure that the grass is being treated as it should, especially on an impossibly gray March that we've had here in the state of Wisconsin.
I feel like I'm living in a movie right now. Like, this is incredible. We're inside American Family Field. You got the grass growers with these cool machine things that you can roll around, like pat on the back, and can we get a round of applause for the grounds crew keepers, Joshy, please? Yeah, thank you. I mean, this is incredible.
It's the most random diatribe you just went on about being in a movie.
I just think it's beautiful. This is beautiful. We are inside.
Why don't you show people? You've got a camera.
Oh, yeah.
You could show people what it looks like.
Here we go. Here's me showing you on stream on WisconsinOnDemand.com or on Twitter at Scalzo.
Wisconsin On Demand app.
And Wisconsin On Demand app. I mean, there's a bajillion ways to find us. Just search Scalzo and Brust, you'll get it. I'm currently holding my computer for all of you to see the glorious AmFam Field that the Brewers will take the field. Home opener, April 3rd. Get juiced. Get excited. Don't worry about one loss, people. I'll tell you why, as Benny Baseball is going to be coming soon.
First, tell us about Water Joe.
Water Joe keeps me going. Actually, I think it's not scientifically proven, but I think Water Joe would help the grass grow faster than regular water. Because you know why? It's clean energy. It's clean caffeine. It's good water with 80 milligrams in there. You also have the 1 liters of Water Joe where you can get a quick trip and get a second one free. Unbelievable deal. Water Joe's amazing. It's where I get my energy from. Clean, healthy energy. Not a soda, not an energy drink. clean, healthy water with caffeine. It just tastes like water. It's the best part. I handed it to somebody in the office. I was like, what does it taste like? I said, water. I was like, well, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I've had it before. It tastes like water. Love me some water, Joe. Pick it up at your local retailer. Thanks. I don't know why I just said thanks.
What's up with you right now?
I don't know. I'm getting a little slap happy.
I feel like you're getting a little slap happy. We'll get Benny Baseball, a slap happy one at that, coming up next. It's Scalzo and Brust live from AmFam Field, hanging out at X Golf with you, the Scalzo and Brust family. Next, we're presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo and Brust.
My name is Ben Brust, and I am a Karen.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Greg Scalzo here for 3 Tree Marketing, a full-service branded merchandise agency using creative merchandising to share your company's story. It's who we work with at ESPN Milwaukee. They're really experiential. It's not just printing logos onto different tchotchkes so you can hand them out at events. They actually work with your team. They think outside the box. They become an extension of your team to accomplish your goal in a meaningful manner. For example, they've got these amazing gifting and onboarding kits from 3 Tree that they handle all the way from A to Z, from logistics to delivery. Check it out, 3treemarketing.com.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
There are fewer things better than basketball and pizza, which is why we're teaming up with Palermo's Pizza for the Palermo's Pizza Bracket Challenge. Follow along for the remainder of the tourney as 16 lucky fans are assigned teams, and to the victor go all the spoils. Even if you're not part of the Bracket Challenge, Palermo's Pizza is the best sixth man off the bench when it comes to enjoying the games. Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Keep those pens and highlighters handy during Gruber Law Office's One Champs Week here on 94.5 ESPN. The bracket is coming to an end, and that means one lucky team will come away from Houston as the next champion. Who's going to be cutting down the nets after the final buzzer? Stay tuned to 94.5 ESPN all week long as we hit the hardwood for all things college hoops. One Champs Week on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
That's on Matt LaFleur. You signed up for this gig. This is like Ted Thompson used to say, you got to put your big boy pants on.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And right now, those big boy pants, he ain't cut for big boy pants. He's a Euro cut, tight fit jean guy. That's where he's at.
Do you have a pair of those?
It's not my deal.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
At least twice as big
as the one you gave her when you got engaged.
That's the definition of a big anniversary diamond.
Kessler's has lots of ways for you to go twice as big.
We have twice as big diamonds from diamond mines.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of Mother Earth. And the ones that exist in the world today are all there will ever be.
Kessler's also has twice as big created diamonds.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of a ball of lightning, a miniature star, inside a plasma chamber. It's a wonder to behold.
Kessler's also has twice as big flickering firelight diamonds.
These natural diamonds flicker with all the warm colors of firelight instead of the cold colors of ice. Flickering firelight diamonds are another wonder to behold.
And all of these twice as big diamonds are for her.
The best wonder to behold of all. Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
Count 17 chimes into the Scalzo and Brust family. We're presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light, hanging out on a beautiful Grateful Dead Thursday. Anytime that it's a Grateful Dead Thursday and we're live at AFM Field, hanging out at X Golf, it's a great Thursday. Bucks bot count 17 says Bucks smash Boston tonight and easily cover LFG. We at in Germantown, who's a real life Bucks bot, says the Bucks are absolutely insane. When was the last time a team had 3 individual players capable of dropping 50 points? Drew with the 50 burger and Giannis a 38-point triple-double. We call that the Brust. Well done there by both of those gentlemen.
The fastest triple-double in Giannis's career, might we add.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's the third. It's only the third fastest this season.
This year, yes. But in his career, fact check me on that one.
I'm not going to, but maybe Josh, you can.
No, I'm good.
Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio running the show, and it is Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. You, the Scalzo and Brust family, calling, texting 800-990-3776. Get 800-990-ESPN. Brewers opening day today. They lose at Wrigley Field in a cold one, 4-0. 4 hits they put up. You know what? Before I go any further, I don't want to blow it. Why don't I just hand it off to the man, to the myth, to the legend, the debut of Benny Brewers.
Josh, you have to have, take me out to the ball game.
You got to have some music here.
No, he's got the football music, but I mean, some creativity. He pulled the Ben Brust. He just gave up on the last segment, but I'm not giving up on game 1 of 162 of the Milwaukee Brewers. Yes, I am frustrated that Corbin Burns was a little baby back blank after he cried about arbitration, right? He didn't get what he wanted. And then he comes out in his first start. He wants to get paid. He hires a big agent.
Here.
I will. I'll get there. But I got to start with what my eyes tell me and what my eyes saw. And I saw a guy who got frustrated. I saw a guy who let the offseason carry over into a frustrating start. He got hit hard. If this game was at American Family Field, the Brewers would have gave up 7 runs, and Corbin Burns would have had all 7 earned. Got knocked down by the wind, all those hard hit balls early in the first and second. That being said, do not fret, because the Brewers lost 2 of 3 last year, and then by April 15th, they're above 500. It's game 1. I was prisoner of the moment earlier in this show. Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, we got guys. Not to mention, I love that Willie Contreras. Willie got a hit today, right? Christian Yelich on base at the leadoff spot. 500 on base percentage. Only 1 game, but a good sign nonetheless. So here's the way I look at it. When I look at Corbin Burns, I look at Brandon Woodruff. Craig Counsell knows how to get it done. Think about this as a manager. Since his 3rd season, 86 wins, 96 wins, 89 wins, 95 wins, 86 wins. What are you? There's nothing to be scared of. I know it was 0 runs. I know it was only 2 hours and 21 minutes. But the idea that they have Craig Counsell, the hometown kid who lives in the city that I live in right now, Whitefish Bay, is behind. What do you say? In the dugout? In the dugout. They are going to win 85-plus games, and I'm not going to let today and the horrible scheduling by the MLB to put the game in Chicago affect my mood about the Milwaukee Brewers. You know what? The same way we talked about the Packers' Week 1 loss to the New Orleans Saints out in Jacksonville, Greg, these first 3 games don't count. They don't count for me. You know where the first game that counts is? April 3rd, Monday, American Family Field. Be there. Who cares what happens on Saturday and Sunday? Because guess what? The Milwaukee Brewers were screwed by getting put in Chicago where it's cold. Bad for Chicago. We should be playing them in the summer when we can all go down and enjoy some nice cold Bud Lights. The Brewers are going to be just fine. Take a deep breath. Tomorrow, 5 runs minimum and a win.
Joshy, we're not on the same page, huh?
What do you mean?
I mean, there was a button, a hotkey that I would like you to play after that long, rambling diatribe.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Joshy, for playing that. I didn't know where. Ben today has gone from saying that we have to overreact to game 1 Then he literally talked about grass growing on the field in front of us. And then he comes back and rips Corbin Burns for I'm not sure what reason. It was not the best opening day start that you'd want to see from a Cy Young caliber guy.
Shine in the biggest moments.
It's not the biggest moments. Game 1. And then somehow tried to turn it into a positive. But like
just saying Craig Counsell's name.
Yeah.
Look, that was my Benny baseball take.
Right,
I don't know what you
that's
want
what you
from
get.
me.
That's what you get from our guy.
I mean, that's what you get from me. You threw me a baseball, and it was right down the middle,
You called
and I
for the
popped it up.
baseball.
Yeah, I want the ball. I'm the kid who thought the ball was going to hit to me every single time when I was in the outfield. It would be a grounder, and I would think it's a pop up, and I was going to be running towards it. I got it. Didn't have it.
Didn't have it, no. The poll to take another visit there on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust. We're going to keep talking about it because it's the biggest story not only in Wisconsin sports but seemingly in all of sports. Is going to completely shift the landscape of the NFL, and it seems like everyone's accepted that this trade is already done, but it's not. And I do think that it will get done. Albert Breer made it seem like it's closer than many think it is to getting done. He also believes that the compensation is going to be a second-round pick and an additional conditional pick for Aaron Rodgers, 61-39. It continues to be at in terms of no versus yes as far as is that enough for Aaron Rodgers.
Is it fair to me to say that, like, I really do like the Green Bay Packers, but part of me wants this all to sort of fail just to show how inept Brian Gutekunst is?
Yeah, that's the Joshy DiMaggio, and I feel like I've been putting a lot of words in Josh's mouth.
Yeah,
but
he's a lot of people.
No, but I think that Josh had felt that like about Rodgers in certain times. Like, hey, I almost want to see him fall on his face, even if it's bad for the team. Is that fair, Joshy?
You could say that was fair. That was in my more weaker of moments. The belief that he couldn't win a championship anymore at his ripe old age was the main part. But yeah, you can get ahead of yourself and start wishing bad things, even though it hurts you and the team you root for.
So that's kind of where Benny is at. Where we are at, and a huge thank you is owed to the folks here at X Golf at American Family Field, all the folks that have helped make this happen throughout the day. We had Wildy and Tausch live from here. We had Homer and Tony live from here. Scalzo and Brust, obviously. An absolutely incredible space inside of American Family Field. Like, you don't even feel like you're necessarily at a baseball game until you walk into the Bay Areas, and then when you're in the Bay Areas,
you're like,
it is one
crap.
of the most unique viewing experiences you could possibly have. We literally can look out there where Bernie slides down the slide following a home run. It's awesome. Opening day coming up on Monday here at AmFam Field. We'll be here with bells on. It's going to be a blast. So once again, a massive thank you to the folks here at X Golf at American Family Field, all the folks that helped us put this together today, and of course to the one and only Benny Brewer.
What are we betting? Actually, I know what we're betting. I put it in our dual count. For those out there looking for a little Bucks gamble, under 61 in the first quarter, inflated over-under line after the huge outpouring by Drew Holiday and Giannis Antetokounmpo. When you think about that, under 61.
Coming up next in Madison and Beaver Dam, it is Bucks Celtics. In Milwaukee, you get Joe and Amber into Pelicans at Nuggets.
94 eastbound from the zoo to into downtown is all the way up to 16 minutes now with stop-and-go traffic from the zoo to the stadium interchange. 43 southbound